Ajax, who for a very long time in this competition, definitely at the beginning, definitely before Christmas, definitely even after January, and then suddenly things didn't look that perfect for this Dutch side as they face Benfica. James, I actually want to start with you. I was going to go with JJ, but Benj, because you've been pretty hot on Ajax for a while, but how are you feeling now? Because that Benfica result in that first leg, and also even this past weekend, even though they won, they did concede a few goals there. What do you make of their chances as they try and wrap things up against Benfica?
Well, that's what I was going to say, is if you kind of look back at their last two games, which are against, I believe, Cambuur and RKC Valvik, if I've pronounced that correctly. I think I have. Both 3-2.
We're not here to correct you, so go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Who here can tell me I'm wrong? Both 3-2, both last-minute winners, Ryan Gravenberch and Dusan Tadic. It's not what we kind of think of from Ajax, but then you kind of think, if we've spent the whole season saying don't read too much into the Eredivisie form, it's a totally different competition, then maybe we need to do that for the for the games that aren't that impressive, even if they are results. I mean, we see the stats up there. It was kind of a strange one. I thought Ajax were a fair bit better, but ultimately, they didn't really take their chances in the first leg. Put them on home turf, I would feel pretty optimistic about their chances. I still think they have all the ingredients of a successful Champions League team. Dusan Tadic just comes alive in this competition. We've seen Sebastian Haller on wonderful form, and Gravenberch is, every time I see him, he looks better and better and better. I think they've just got the star quality that maybe Benfica don't, aside from Nunez.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I think as well, something to bear in mind from the first leg was that Ada managed to score at both ends. That's how hot this streak is that he's on at the moment. So you take away that, and I think Ajax just about shade that game and obviously win 2-1. And funnily enough, that's the score that I've predicted here. I mean, I take your point about the recent performances. I don't know if Steve McLaren would want to correct your pronunciation of the club names, but I'm going to leave it for it. I'm going to leave it there for today. But no, for this one, I think that Ajax will have enough to go through. I do think that leaky defense is perhaps going to be a source of concern moving forward. I don't think it's going to be enough to stop them going into the quarterfinals. Also, I think looking at the potential matchup between Jan Vertonghen, who obviously was formed at Ajax, and Otamendi, who's been nursing an ankle problem and is sort of 50-50 as to whether he plays or not, I think that could be sort of crucial in deciding which way this one goes. Because like Benj said, I can see Tadic, really bringing his A game again. He seems to reserve his vintage performances for the Champions League. And I think that there's at least one more round in Ajax as they go forward. We also chatted with Brian Brobby ahead of the game. So if anyone wants to check that interview out on the website, they can do. But I'm feeling good about Ajax progressing past Benfica. And obviously it'll be interesting to see who they get in the draw, because given their form earlier in the group stage, I don't think anyone in the quarterfinals is actually going to really want to come up against them, because they'll be that plucky underdog that could just upset the form book.
Yeah, and also I'll add that Ajax have won all 3 of their home games so far in the Champions League. They play pretty well at home, despite some of the results recently. They've had 5 clean sheets in their last 6 at home, outside of this 3-2, most recent 3-2 result. Now, they've also had 4 different players in double figures for chances created from open play in the Champions League. Tadic, Aller, Berghaus, and Antony. Coming into the round of 16, second leg, only Manchester City has had as many different players create double digits in chances created. So that's something to keep in mind, where if you're Benfica, all right, if we shut down this one area, they can hurt us over here. They're just so dynamic in attack and so well balanced on both sides of the field and centrally. I think that Ajax obviously have the talent to do so. My problem is they gave up 2 leads to Benfica in leg 1. In this most recent 3-2 games, they were up 2-0 in both and gave up the leads until scoring late. So there's something going on with them. And maybe they were going to hit this dip in form defensively no matter what. But when you have a player like Darwin Nunez up top for Benfica who can get himself in good spots, and if they can score early, then Benfica maybe could have a chance in this, because we saw Go Ahead Eagles, best name, by the way, in Dutch football with regard to a name of a team. Go Ahead Eagles. I can't get over that. But they just beat them. They scored 2 goals early, and Ajax couldn't come back into that game, and that's their only loss since playing Benfica in leg 1. So I think Benfica do have a chance, but they got to punch their ticket early. They got to score that first goal, and I think that can put Ajax under a ton of pressure.
Something else to bear in mind as well is it's supposed to be Onana's sort of return to the starting berth, because obviously since he declared that he's going to be on the move this summer, he's sort of been out of the first team picture, but the veteran goalkeeper Pasveer, who's been sort of deputizing for him since with Stekelenburg, also not only in the geriatric home, but also on the touchlines. So I think Onana's return will actually be key, especially because I believe that Pasveer is like a broken finger or a fractured finger or something like that. He's probably going to keep him out of any potential games in the quarterfinals as well. So this will mean that Onana, despite the fact that he knows that he's moving on, sort of has a chance to, sort of clean up his image a little bit, before moving on. So I think that's also something interesting, kind of like a subplot to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. Go ahead.
No. You go.
I was just going to jump in and add my tips. I think Ajax to win and both teams to score plus 130, or if you want to throw Ajax into a parlay to win at home, it's just a really safe and somewhat smart bet given just form and statistics and all that stuff. But I'm wary of just that first goal from Benfica and how Ajax punches back. But
as everybody's kind of attributing to, I feel like the home form for Ajax will be a key thing. As Jimmy said, they've won 3. Obviously, they're going for 4 in a row, by the way, at home in the competition for the first time since March 1996, when Louis van Gaal led them to 7 consecutive, of course. And obviously, this is a team that scores at least 2 goals in all of the 7 Champions League matches as well. 22 times they've scored. So there's going to be goals in this one. It's a matter of how well they defend that lead. Predictions very quick. James Bench, Ajax, Benfica. What do you have?
2-0 Ajax.
All right. Jonathan Johnson?
2-1 Ajax.
All right. Jimmy?
I'll go big. I'll go 3-2 Ajax.
Ooh,
have some fun over here.
Nice. I'll go 2-1 as well, but everybody has Ajax going through.